Perspective and possessions. This is like the last sermon on giving to make it count. So perspective and possessions, okay? And so we'll go over this here. Perspective and how we think about things is very important. How we think, how we analyze, what we assess, what we view. This is very important, right? This will determine how we approach life, how we take care of situations that come up, things that we face. Our perspective will determine this. The Bible even says this in Proverbs 23 verse 7. It says, "For as he thinks within himself, so he is." The way you think, so you are, right? And then the second part of the verse, so he says to you, "Eat and drink, but his heart's not with you." That's not the main juice in that scripture. But today, right? We are today what our thoughts have brought us, and we will be tomorrow what our thoughts take us. So we are today where our thoughts brought us, and we will be tomorrow where our thoughts will take us. Our greatest days in ministry are still in front of us. We haven't even tapped into our greatest days. The greatest that we have achieved is going to get us where we need to go tomorrow, and they're still ahead of us. In the right kind of attitude, the right kind of perspective, the right kind of outlook on life will affect us more than what happens to us and the opportunities that come up. Opportunities will come, but how we look at them is more important. Things happen, but how we approach what happens is a little bit more important. Our perspective really is really a key here. And there's some perspective pointers that I want to point out. And this is just on perspective and possessions, okay? So just keep that, and I just want to lay a little foundation before we get into this. Some perspective pointers, how we view things determines how we do things. How we view something will determine how we do things. My behavior is the result of my perspective. The way I see, that's how I'm going to behave. What I analyze, how I process, that's how I'm going to take care of the situation, okay? The second one I want to go over, what you see is who you will be. What you see is who you will be. We don't all see the same thing. All right, we can be in the same environment, we can be in the same service, we can be in the same upbringing and come with two different mental pictures of what we engaged in, okay? Hebrews 4:2, it says it perfect. "For indeed we have good news preached to us, just as they also, but the word they heard didn't profit them because it was not united by faith in those who heard." Same message, same environment. One, it profited him, the other one it didn't. The other one seen it in faith, the other one said, "Oh, this is just good information." It makes a difference. So as a man thinketh, so is he. That's what the scripture said. As you think, that's who you will be. And this outlook, if you see yourself like, you know what, I'm a child of God, you know what's going to happen? You see yourself walk around like that. I even was thinking this on the way over here, that if I act like, say if I make a mistake, right? And us being a Christian, us being a child of God, us saying we're Christians, people are going to take you a little bit more serious, and the demands on you are going to be a lot higher. They're going to expect you to be honest, going to expect you to be trustworthy. So what happens is, when I say I'm a Christian, right? Well, I gotta actually be right. I gotta be correct on some things. And if I don't, what will happen is people start to lose trust in you. But that's not the worst part about it. You start to lose trust in yourself. And what happens is, if I know, you know what, I made a mistake, I'm going to get back up. I made a mistake, sir, forgive me, I'm going to correct that. What happens is, right, the way I see myself, I'm a child of God. I got to get back up. I got to do right. I got to confront my problems. I can't run away because my feelings are not matching up. I got to confront. I'm a child. I'm a boss in this thing. I'm not a weak person. I got to confront this thing. I see I'm a child of God, and God gave me power to overcome my problems, and I'm going to hit them head on. What happens is, if you don't see that, you're not going to face that. You won't be able to be that. Here's another one. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. So if I change it, this is going to change. A lot of times when people come to me and they want to fix someone else or they want to correct someone else, I let them know that the reality, this is out of their league, right? If you want to change that person, you're going to change yourself first. You start with you. Make it your first priority. And what happens is they start to change also. The outlook, right? I'll give you a better example on this. If I see somebody and they keep doing the same thing to me, right? I can't expect them to change. I got to change the way I see them. I got to change the way I approach them. I can't change that person. I can love on them. I can put them to the side and say, pointers and some things out and do it lovingly. Give them life-giving reproof, right? In a most life-giving way. And if they don't take the advice, okay, I got to change my approach toward that person. I can't change them. I change the way I see that. Oh, well, they don't change it. That's why. No, my God. You change. That's our responsibility. The only thing we can do is us. And here's another perspective. What I believe about life determines how I perceive life, which determines what I receive from life. Wow. So what I believe about life determines how I perceive it, which determines what I receive from life. This is more than anything, this right here was hitting me hard right here. And there's a story about perspectives that I can illustrate, and I heard this, okay? So I'm going to let you know, I learned this lesson, so I want to share it with you guys. I learned this, so I was like, you know what, this is so good, I want to share it with the church, okay? This lesson here, okay? And there's a story about perspectives, about dogs and cats, a diary of a dog and a diary of a cat, okay? The diary of the dog, he says, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, man, it's wake up time, I get to go outside, my favorite thing. 7 o'clock, man, I'm going to eat, my favorite thing, right? 8 o'clock, I get to stand by the door and bark at people that pass by, my favorite thing, right? 12 o'clock, I get to nap, man, my favorite thing, right? 1 o'clock, I get to chase, right, the people walking by the window, my favorite thing. 6 o'clock, man, my people come home, I get to relax with them and cuddle with them, they give me attention and they pet me, my favorite thing. Right, 9 o'clock, we get to lay in bed and we get to relax and we get ready for the next morning, my favorite thing, all right? The diary of a cat. Day 98 of my captivity. My captors taunt me with bizarre little dangling objects, and the only thing that keeps me going is my dream of escape. Same house, two different realities, two different what they receive from being in the same household. Perspective is everything. Okay? Perspective about possessions. I want to go over this because there's in the Bible there's a story in there, and Jesus is telling this to somebody. He's explaining this story to somebody. And it puts it very good about possessions and about everything else. And here's the thing. I know that we're learning about this, how to take care of the possessions, how to look at them, and it's something that we're all learning. So when I was reading this and when I was learning this lesson, I'm like, dang, I got to catch up. There's some things I got to work on here. Okay, so Luke 10:30-37, look what it says. Jesus replied and said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among robbers. And they stripped him and beat him and went away, leaving him half dead. Okay, there's robbers there. And they beat a guy. And by chance, a priest was going down that road, and he saw him, and he passed by on the other side. He looked, and went on the other side, okay? Likewise, a Levite also, when he came to the place, saw him pass by on the other side. Okay? 33. But a Samaritan who was on a journey came upon him and went and saw him, and he felt compassion. Verse 34. And he came to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring oil and wine on them, and he put him on his own beast, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And on the next day he took out 2 denarii, gave it to the innkeeper, and said, take care of him, and whatever more you spend, when I return, I'll repay you. Which of these 3 do you think proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell into the robber's hands? And he said, the one who showed mercy toward him. Then Jesus said to him, go and do the same. Okay, there's 3 of the 4 perspectives here that people think about possessions. There's 3 of the 4. The first one is the robber. We see the robber, and this is his perspective, right? What is yours is mine, and I'm going to take it, okay? And beat you for it. Hopefully not, hopefully we don't. But this is how a robber thinks. If you got it, I want it, and I'm going to take it. And to be honest, every one of us has a little robber in us. We're born with a robber in us because the closest people to robbers are toddlers. The toddler's perspective of possessions, if I like it, it's mine. If I can take it away from you, it's mine. If I had it a while ago, it's mine. If I say it's mine, it's mine. And if it looks like mine, it's mine. Here's another one. If you're having fun with it, it's mine. If you lay it down, it's mine. If it's broken, it's yours. There's not much difference between a toddler and a robber, and we're born with sin, and basically this sin grows to a higher degree. The older we become, the envy becomes higher, the selfishness in our lives becomes a higher degree, and so we're all born with the little robber in us, okay? Here's the second one. The priest and the Levite, in their perspective, what is mine, and I'm going to keep it. What is mine, and I'm going to keep it. They saw the one who was in bad shape. They went to the other side of the road and they passed by. They seen the guy and said, you know what, let me just avoid this, right? What is mine, and I'm going to keep it. I'm going to give you another little illustration here about this. There was a dad that took the son to McDonald's, and he got the son some fries. He went to reach for the son's fries to grab a couple of them so he can eat. And the son stopped him and said, my fries. And 3 thoughts hit the dad. My son doesn't understand where these fries come from. The father took money from his pocket, took it out of his money, bought those fries. He's the source of getting those fries. He actually made it happen for those fries to be available. The second perspective, the son doesn't understand that the dad can take those fries. If he wanted to, he can take them, and if he wanted to do even worse, he can bury his son in fries. He can get 50 packs of fries, dump it all over his kid if he wanted to. I wouldn't recommend that, but he could have done that. And the third one, the son doesn't understand that the dad doesn't need his fries. He can go to the same counter, give them money, and get some more fries. He doesn't need his fries. But as a father, he thought it would be wonderful if he would like to share them with the dad. And this is exactly how it works. This is exactly how it works. There's 2 non-compatible words when it comes to perspective and possessions. 2 non-compatible words. Selfishness and significance. They're not compatible. Selfishness and significance. Significance, it's all about others. Selfishness is all about us. And they're not compatible at all. There's no way we can be significant in life if we have this thought. What is mine, and I'm going to keep it. Selfish people cheat themselves. When a person holds on to their possessions, what is not realized is that it's cheating oneself. If we hold back, we lose it. And if what we keep, we lose, and what we lose, we keep. Wow. Proverbs 11:24 says it beautifully. There is one who scatters and yet increases all the more. And there is one who withholds what is justly due and yet it results in only in want. Here's the thing. If we give, it will come back to us. It will. Give when it is in our power to do it. That's another one. But here's the thing. Knowing when to give is the key. Knowing when to do it is the key. The problem in our culture is not the have and have-nots. It's the give-nots. It is not the issue of having a little or having a lot. The issue is giving not. And honestly, everyone can give something. I did a study a long time ago. It's called Faith and Finances. I did a whole course on it, and it took a while. Pastor Nick took me to that course. I had to take it. I got all the notes to it, and Faith and Finance. And they broke it down. They would say, even if you don't make a lot, you can still save. And even if you don't make a lot, you can give something. Everyone can give, and everyone can save. And they broke it down where it was a reality. Like, you know what? We can get ahead. We can get out of debt. We can actually make our life work with what we have. We can downsize, marginalize, use what we have, wear it out, keep using it, put a little tape on it, put a little gum, and make it work, and keep on using it and make it work, make it count. And everyone honestly can save, and everyone honestly can give something. I'm gonna get, here's the last perspective. Here's another one. The third one is the Good Samaritan. This is his perspective. What is mine is yours, and I'm gonna give it. And that's that's kind of like a tough thing. What is mine is yours, and I'm going to give it. This area of living is where we want to start living our life in, right? He had a healthy perspective about his possessions. The priest and the Levite and the Samaritan all saw the same problem. They all had the same opportunity. They all had a reason not to help. But the priest and the Levite had an inside perspective, and the Samaritan had an outside perspective. An inside perspective, right, says this: when a situation arises, how would this affect me? The first person I always look out is for myself. The priest and Levite see the person, and they said to themselves, what is this going to do to me? What is in it for me? How is this going to help me? What is this going to do to me? Selfish people, here's the thing about that. They never want to be inconvenienced. There is a lot of inconvenience in serving, in giving, and loving. It's an inconvenience. And I know they had a schedule. I know there's some things they had to do, but this little inconvenience would have helped them so much, right? But the Samaritan had an outside perspective, and the outside perspective says this: if I don't stop, what will happen to him? He's probably going to die. Something bad's probably going to happen to him. And if I don't stop, what's really going to happen to him? Something bad's going to happen to them. And just know, just honestly, if you're giving to this ministry, you're giving to this church, you're really giving to make change lives. People are actually becoming better from this. It's going to make a difference in people's lives. And here's another thought about an outside perspective that really hit me hard. What's going to happen inside of me if I don't help this person out? What is it going to do inside of me? My heart's going to become callous if I don't help. I'm going to get hardened in some kind of way. It's something, I don't know. I'm going to lose my edge. I'm going to lose my fire. I'm going to lose my love for people. I'm going to lose my compassion. The level of compassion is going to go down. Selfishness is going to rise up. I'm going to get hardened. It's something, I don't know. It's going to make me a little bit more evil, make me a little bit more bad. It's going to make me a little bit more hardened. If I don't help when it's time to help out, what's it going to do inside of me? If we live selfish life, after a while, we can pass by people with needs and hurts, and it's going to have a little effect on us, very little effect on us. The soul becomes callous, like where it's hardened, it's impenetrable, like you don't even feel nothing for people that need help anymore. And what happens as a result is you don't help when people need it. Albert Einstein, and this guy, he actually was one of the EMC squared, right? This guy almost invented like the electricity. This is like a boss in his whole generation. And look what he said here. A person first starts to live when he can live outside of himself. what happens is this Samaritan actually made it count. He actually got outside of himself. I'm going to give you another one. This last perspective is not in there, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. And this level is out of sight. This level is just way different. What is mine is not mine, and I'm going to manage it. What is mine is not mine. I'm going to manage it. The reason why we can give, because we realize it wasn't mine. We shouldn't have a hard time giving our talent. We shouldn't have a hard time giving our talent, our time, and our treasure. It's not our life. These are not our gifts. It's not our talent. It's called gifts because we didn't earn them. Someone gave them to us. We didn't deserve them. It was wired inside of us in our mother's womb. God said, I'm going to give you this gift. Here, work it, elevate it, grow better in it, but it's not your gift. I gave it to you. You didn't do anything for it. I gave you this gift. And it shouldn't be a hard time to let it go if it's not ours. It was a gift. I didn't earn it. He gave it to me. I just elevated. I became better in it, and I became better so I can give it in a better way. There's a couple scriptures. Psalms 24, verse 1. The earth is the Lord's and all it contains, the world and those who dwell in it. In other words, he was saying everything in it, the earth and everything in it, it belongs to him. If we have this view, we become healthy about what we have. If we understand he gave it to me, it's all his anyway, I'm just borrowing it, I'm going to have to give an account for what I did with this, it's really his, it really changes the way you the way you receive things and what you really have and what you're really good at. You understand it really is his, and he can take it away from me at any moment of the day. Yeah. James 1:17, every good thing and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variance or shifting shadow. I'll give you another example. Say if I have a gift and I want to give it to a certain person I know that needs help, and I give it to the mailman, I have the right address, I have the right packaging, I hand it to the mailman, and then I go home and then I find out that the delivery person didn't get it to the person that needed it. I know they needed it. I had it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to give it. I'm actually going to do this. And the delivery person takes it home. Not only did he take it home, he opened it up. And then going to confront him, he says, I thought since you gave it to me, it must be mine. We have to understand we are God's delivery children. He blessed us so we can be a blessing to others and pass it on. He gives us something so we can give it to others also. God will give to you what he knows will flow through you. And just because he placed something in my hands doesn't mean I'm supposed to keep it. Maybe I'm supposed to use it for a while and pass it on so it can bless somebody else at the same time. And what happens is God will keep on pouring in because I keep on pouring out. But what happens is when we become stingy and we withhold, and he's like, dang, all I got to do is stretch a little bit. All I got to do is give a little bit. All I got to do is be there a little bit. And man, God, it's going to bless this person so much more. But I'm just going to keep it. What happens is you withhold the blessing for somebody else. So God has to use somebody else to give it to them because you withheld. He said, I'm going to give it to them. You were supposed to be my delivery child, but I got to use somebody else. I got to use another circumstance. I got to bless somebody else too. I got to just do somebody else. I can't trust you with that. And what happens is we're just God's delivery people. There's 5 questions, and we're going to end it right here, okay? 5 questions that we can ask ourselves when we do give, okay? I used to have just an indicator. If I'm going to give to something, I had to feel it in my heart. But maybe if we're going to be giving, right, and we come to church and we know we're supposed to give, right? We're supposed to give our tithes, our offerings. We know we're supposed to do that. But why don't we just take it up a little bit and let's have a thought process. What should I actually questions should I be asking when I do give? What are some things should I consider if I'm gonna give? I shouldn't just, the only indicator shouldn't be, I feel it. I just feel it in my heart. Oh my God, I just want to do it. Like, no, maybe we should actually bump this up a little bit. Who in here is guilty of saying, I'm gonna give because I feel it. I just feel it, and that's it. That's the only indicator. If I ain't feeling it, I'm not gonna give. Well, maybe that's a low level of giving, right? Maybe, and I'm guilty. I'm not trying to bash nobody else. I'm guilty. If I didn't feel it, I'm not gonna give. Nah, sister, she didn't say hi to me. I'm sad. She don't deserve it. You know, some of us are foul like that. Some of us are just so foul like that. And Christians, I hate to, they're the worst. The worst. I give to my church. Oh, get away from me, you filthy other church person. Like, dang, man, hey, I come in peace, man. I'm just, hey, God bless you too. I got to make sure I don't do that to other people, though. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure I got to do that to other people. Okay, so 5 questions we can ask ourselves when giving. Here's the first question, is the leadership question. Does the leader have competence and character? Competence means, are they a good leader? Do they actually make good decisions, right? Character, are they honest? Do they have integrity? Everything rises and falls on leadership. So if I'm going to financially give and I want to make sure the leadership has competence and character, here's this bottom line. A good leader is going to do good things with it, and a bad leader is going to do bad things with it. Very simple. Either they're going to do good or bad with it. They're going to do what they're supposed to do with it or do what they're not supposed to do with it. Very simple. Very simple. And here's another one, right? So that's the first question, is the leadership. If you know the leadership and you know all behind the scenes, then hey, then if you're a step ahead. But here's the second one, is an involvement question. Can I give more than dollars? What if I just want to roll up my sleeves and do something and get involved and partner with them and actually help them achieve their goal? Matthew 25 says, when I do it to the least of these, we do it to Jesus Christ, in a nutshell. So if someone tells me I want to do something for Jesus, I just, man, that's pretty easy. All you got to do is give somebody that's hungry something to eat. All you got to do is visit somebody in prison, which shouldn't be hard if we grow up where, never mind. All right, it shouldn't be hard. All you got to do is make a phone call, write a letter. When you're doing it to them, you're doing it to Jesus Christ. You know what? He values people so much that when we give to someone, he takes it personally. He's like, man, if you gave to them, I'm taking it personal. I'm taking it like you're doing it to me. And here's the thing. So can I give more than dollars? Can I get involved? What if I just don't want to give dollars? What if I want to give my livelihood? What if I want to give my life, my energy, my time, my talent, my treasure? What if I want to give to that? You know, can I actually get involved? And here's another one, the difference question. I thought this one was good right here. Is this organization making a difference for others and me? Is it making a difference for others and me? And you know what? Because people are telling me, oh, I'm going to give to this little place, and they don't even know the place. They never been there. I understand. But here's the thing. Is it making a difference for others and for me? I want to give where my life is being changed. Like, you know what? My life changed with this organization, with this church, and I think it would change other people's lives too. I'm going to give so it can advance and other people can get blessed just like it happened to me. Not only that, it's going to bless other people, but it also changed me. It's like going to Burger King and paying McDonald's their money. I ate man, I enjoy this burger. I don't know. I like Burger King better than McDonald's. That's just me. That's just me. I'm not promoting McDonald's or Burger King. And I ate the cheeseburger. And I go to McDonald's. Here you go. I'm paying for the Whopper. No, if your life's being changed, just give to it, right? And here's another one, is the God question. And this is kind of like the basic one right here. This is how I used to just only give, just to this. What God's blessed. Sorry. Yes, okay. What God is blessing and has prompted me to give. What is God blessing and has he prompted me to give? What is God blessing and has he prompted me to give? This is like kind of like one of the ones that I just used to have. Did God prompt me? What is God doing, right? And I love this question because I want to give where his hand is at. I want to give where his anointing's on. I want to give to the cause and to the people that he's moving through. I want to give where they're achieving points, where they're scoring points, where they're gaining souls, where they're making a difference. And I used to say, if I feel it, then I'll give. But here, we can't dismiss that, though. We can't dismiss that at all. If God's on that place and he's prompting me to give, maybe I should just do it. And here's a last one, is the potential question. How can I increase my giving? This right here, I'm actually going through this phase right now. I'm going through this phase right now. In ministry, I used to work harder. I used to have more energy. I had more body movement, more things I had to do in ministry. And so I gave so much of that. But then when I became a pastor and I opened up the church, and I not only do I have that ministry that we're a part of, but now I'm the pastor of the church. So my season and role changed. So I don't move around as much as I used to. I'm not in the grind, in the groove of things. My work looks different. It looks studying, it looks reading, it looks praying, it looks writing stuff down, writing, tweaking, making better, getting content, getting from here, getting from there. Oh, I got an idea, getting from God. It just looks a little different than just moving around and sweating all day. And so I had to ask myself the question without feeling guilty, God, am I giving enough and am I doing enough? Because my serving and giving looks a lot different. And if God elevated you, ask yourself this question. If you're starting to elevate and you're starting to achieve and you're starting to grow, am I giving enough and am I doing enough? And it's not a bad thing. How can I increase my giving? Am I really supposed to be doing what I'm doing, and should I be doing a little bit more? My fear is that the people that are in the center, in the home, they give so much, right? Now when your season changed, it's like, dang, it looks different. Since I'm not giving like this, I'm not going to give at all. Or if I can't be the pastor of the church, I'm not going to give nothing. I can't submit to it. I can't be a number 2 or number 3 or number 4. I got to be the number 1. But maybe the season changed. Maybe it's time for the younger generation to step up so they can pump fire into the people, and you're like a grandpa supporting them, giving them wisdom, being the eyes and the ears where they don't see, being the experience that they don't have, and be there for them instead of being selfish and all about you. I have to know this right here. I have to know when my time is up. I have to know my time is up. I am not getting any younger. Man, I have served hard, and I served a lower, and then I pump fire when everybody else is. I kind of found my groove a little bit. Well, we can't be intimidated by somebody that's on fire. How can I increase my giving? Is my giving just being there, loving on them, or do I have to be the main one holding on to the death of the church? And I see that happen so much. Why? Because I had it happen to me. It was supposed to be passive, like, dang, pass the ball, pass the ball. No, I'm going to keep running. And gray hair, and he's tripping and falling. Like, dude, you don't got the legs anymore, bro. Pass the baton, bro. No, I got it. Like, man, this leg still works. Yeah, but the other one's not moving correctly. My prayer is this, that we have possessions, but they don't have us. That we don't want to be a church where we have a job, we have bills, and we have possessions, and we have our livelihood as support, where our livelihood gets in the way of us giving to God. Our way of life, and it just gets in the way of where I partner with God, and I do for God, and I give so people can actually get saved. And that's my prayer. And so I want to just end this with a prayer. And just to let you just end this with a prayer. So our perspective about possessions just change. Well, we have it. It doesn't have us. I tell it where to go. It doesn't tell me what to do. Well, I have to change my perspective about that. I got it, but this doesn't have me. This is a thing. This is an object. I belong to God. I belong to him. He gave it to me in the first place. I manage it, and that's all. He gave it to me. I'm going to manage it, and I'm going to manage it well. So, Father God, I want to lift up everyone here up today, and I do pray that our perspective about the possessions, it changes to be healthy, God. And it's healthy in your eyes. It's healthy with us. Well, we have things, and it doesn't have us. And we love you, Jesus. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving, God. Amen and amen.